I have a question for you. If the clients you have now were the only source of getting new clients or making money, how would you treat them differently than you currently treat them? If we haven't met yet, my name is Sam, and I work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, founders who are ready to get off the treadmill and the hustle cycle of always having to get more clients and learn how to keep the ones that they already have and get more referrals. And so it's 2026, y'all. I have been waiting for today for several weeks, knowing that I was going to go live and start to share out the information about Retention Made Simple, where I am able to help you possibly double your revenue without even getting any more clients. So let me just talk about it for just a minute. The question that I asked you when I very first hit live was, how would you treat your clients differently than you do right now if they were your only source of income? You could not go get new clients. Think about it. Sit with it for just a second and understand that truly the clients you already have, they've already said yes to you for a reason. So now maybe it's time to figure out how to keep them, right? How to make it easy for them to say yes to continuing. And that's a big part of Retention Made Simple. So, on Mondays, I'm going to be going live for just a couple of minutes to give you kind of a lowdown rundown of the week and anything that might be top of mind about retention, how to get your clients to refer you without you having to even ask. Wow, what a concept that would be. And talk about the podcast we have coming up and then also the weekly training. So this week, our podcast is going to be Wednesday at noon Central. Typically, it's going to be Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Central, but my special guest that I'm interviewing on Wednesday couldn't make 3 p.m., so I was able to adjust for him. This will be the first podcast we're doing for Retention Made Simple, creating client loyalty in 100 days or less without a ton of tech, time, or money. And it is Coach Dale. If you've been friends with me or connected to me online or in real life, you probably know who Coach Dale is. I went through his coaching program in 2019 and it totally changed my life. And so the fact that I'm starting my podcast with him is on purpose. And I cannot wait for what we're going to share with you. And then at noon Central on Friday, we're going to have our first workshop training of the year. And I'm going to be teaching live. It won't be projected like the podcast Wednesday at noon live on this platform. Yes, you'll be able to watch it live, and then I'll pull it down to put it on podcast platforms. But Friday at noon Central, I'll be live, but we'll be on Zoom. So you have to register to attend. And I'm going to be doing a quick demo of what Retention Made Simple is, and then what I'm calling a sticky note retention tip. If it's too big to put on a sticky note, then I don't teach it because I want it to be simple, actionable, implementing things that you're able to implement right away so that you can not just learn something, but do something. It's really important to me that people don't just come and consume and consume and consume. We have enough data. We need to be driven from learning something to doing something. And so I will focus on implementation heavy stuff all the time because it's really important that you don't just learn, that you do. And then, so I'm so excited. This week's topic is basically how to become irreplaceable, to go from a vendor to a partner. How do you go from just a vendor, a commodity, something that they price shop for, right, to being a partner? I sent out an email today to my list about the sticky note retention tip. And one of my friends, Mary, wrote back and she said, it reminds me of a saying that Zig Ziglar said back in the 90s that people like to do business with people they like, even if it costs more. Think about that. Even if it costs more, If somebody actually likes you, they know who you are, they're connected to you, they're bought in on you and what you're doing, they're willing to pay more. So that's what we have coming up this week. I'm so excited that 2026 is here. It's going to be a great year for all of us. And sit with the question that I asked you at the beginning. How would you treat your clients differently if they were your only source of income? You could never get any more clients. You only got them to stay, or you got referrals from them. How would you treat them differently? Think about that. Come hang out with us for the podcast on Wednesday at noon, and then sign up. There'll be a link around this video where you can sign up for the weekly sticky note retention tips training, and I